6 ways in which modern Catholics like gaslighting traditional Catholics. Now, if you're a traditional Catholic, especially if you attend SSPX or anything like that, you just know that the way that modern Catholics like trying to get you to leave Catholic tradition is by giving you a huge case of scruples. It's endlessly ridiculous. It's honestly absurd. And so I thought I'd just do just 6 of the ways like gaslighting us. So for those who don't know what gaslighting is, that is basically casting self-doubt in someone, basically lying to them, and saying, "Oh, you didn't hear what I said when I told you that," for example. General idea. So 1, saying ecumenism doesn't mean ecumenism. So this is a very common one. So I used to be involved heavily in the ecumenical movement. One of the things that I was always told as I was starting to lean towards Catholic tradition by Catholics is that, oh, ecumenism just means prayer, means talking about things and bringing people back to the Catholic Church. That's good, that's great. Yeah, here's the thing. That's not what happens in ecumenism on the ground. It's full on not. And whenever you go to these ecumenical gatherings, which are ecumenical services, which, by the way, Mortalem Animos always forbade, paragraph 10, Mortalem Animos, Pius XI, among many other church fathers' documents, says that you can't take part in it. These are essentially Protestant services where you as a Catholic are expected to lay aside things like devotion to Mary, devotion to the Blessed Sacrament in the name of Christian unity. And if you say that we're just trying to tell towards Catholic unity, mention that to the people there, they'll look at you funny like, what? No, this is about us all putting aside our beliefs and differences, saying it doesn't matter. Which is contrary to what we as Trackhouse get told quote-unquote real ecumenism is really all about. So, good to know they're gaslighting both of us. Number 2, reducing EENS, or outside of the church is no salvation, into practically nothing. So this is a common cop-out I've heard from a lot of mainline Catholics. They say, oh, the Catholic Church hasn't abandoned, outside the Catholic Church there's no salvation. However, we've embraced the idea that, we cannot judge God. God's mercy is infinite, etc., etc. Sounds like a nice workaround, and reducing outside the church is no salvation to practically nothing. You can't say Protestants are unsafe. You can't say commit this sin is unsafe. Oh, because you're making judgments on others. However, the nice thing about that is that this approach to writing off EENS, or outside the church is no salvation, and reducing it to practically nothing in practice, has already been dealt with by Pope Pius IX in the Syllabus of Errors. Quote, error number 17. This is condemned. Quote, good hope at least is to be entertained of those who are outside the true church. Quote. Error 17. Good hope at least is to be entertained of the eternal salvation of those who are outside of the true Church of Christ. Error 17 of the Syllabus of Errors, condemned as heresy by an infallible Pope on a matter of faith and morals binding the whole Church. So if you're making that argument, you're a heretic. Number 4, Pope splitting problematic papal statements. Now, this is especially true with Pope Francis. Especially true with him. I will give probably the most famous case is Fiducia Supplicans, where Pope Francis says that we can now bless same-sex relationships and people in irregular relationships, and then have the Pope say, oh, Fiducia Supplicans does not mean we are to bless same-sex relationships. Here's the exact quote from Fiducia Supplicans. Quote, Fiducia Supplicans opens up the, quote, the possibility of blessings for couples in irregular situations and the same sex. And I quote, Fiducia Supplicans, paragraph 31. Now, they will try to explain this away and say that doesn't actually say that, much like how many Protestants try to argue that James 2:24 does not say we are saved by faith alone when it says, and I quote word for word, we are not saved by faith alone. They will then say, oh, it's just talking about, it's not a symbol, it's not supposed to simulate marriage, etc., etc. You're still blessing something that's objectively sinful, and that has always been condemned by the Church. And elsewhere in the document, it says that they're changing the what it means to give a blessing. So yeah, it's absolutely causing it's definitely at the very least causing grave scandal. Notice, however, they only seem to harp on trads when we say there's something wrong. They never seem to harp on the people who are supposedly abusing this. Where are all these people attacking the priests who are blessing same-sex couples and couples in irregular relationships? When supposedly Fiducia Supplicans doesn't say that. Where are all the people calling them out? I might add. Number 5, accused of not understanding the council and other papal documents. This is right up there with Pope-splaining, quite honestly. They just say, oh, we need to have so what happens quite frequently is that you have a bishop who teaches something against the Catholic faith, rightly or wrongly quotes Vatican II against it, and then they just say, oh, you still need to disobey him because the council's just misrepresented you, he's misunderstanding it. But they never take it to the next step and say, yeah, let's correct this person who's saying this, who taught you this, because they did it wrong. They always leave it at shut your mouth, get in line, and write you off. That it is endless gaslighting. Number 6, if all else fails, accuse you of being a schismatic. Because if you have questions about why is Pope Francis worshipping Pachamama, said he was worshipping Pachamama, how dare you say he's worshipping Pachamama? He literally said it. It's quoted in this Catholic official mainline Catholic news article, citing the Vatican. How dare you say that? He says you should bless same-sex relationships. How dare you say that? Meanwhile, these same people who will also turn around and have no problem with the Catholics who say that they're in favor of allowing these changes in the Catholic Church. Then when you say that, I'm starting to think maybe people who are doing these sort of things are trying to change church teaching or to put themselves in schism because they've renounced the Catholic faith. You are schismatic. Which is supposed to be instant shutdown. That's what you're supposed to do. It's endless gaslighting. And this is just like a few things I do off the top of my head. These are just the most frequent types of gaslighting that I've seen. So if you're a church Catholic and are watching this, comment down below. How have you been gaslit by modernist Catholics? Like, what have your experiences been? So again, for those who don't know what gaslighting is, just to clarify again, you've been told the Catholic Church is one thing, then they turn around and tell you something else, and say you don't understand churching or disobedient, etc. What are your experiences with gaslighting from modern Catholics, trying to get you to get in line as a trad Cath? Anyway, God bless. 3 Hail Marys for all the trad Caths who suffered from gaslighting from modern Catholics, and it's basically all of us. For us to have patience dealing with these people with what is essentially spiritual and psychological abuse. 3 Aves for you all. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus, Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in nostri amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus, Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in nostri amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena Dominus tecum, benedicta mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus, Sancta Maria Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in nostri amen. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, amen. If you ever get a chance, check out an SSPX church. God bless.